Hey everybody, so today you're gonna learn how to add the kill feed to your gun. So we got our clip all trimmed down here. Yeah, okay, let's just jump right into Fusion, alright? So here we are in Fusion, okay? Now, we don't need this second viewer window, so go over to this button right here, click that, there you go. Now, the first thing that we need to do, we have to get some tracking data so we can merge our kill feed to our gun. So we have to get our gun tracked in. The best thing to do is to kind of map out what you're tracking. So here's the beginning of our clip. And I think right around here, we pull out our satchel. Yep. So start somewhere in the middle. Now, while you have media in one selected, what you can do is hit shift space. That brings up the select tool page and you can type in planar tracker. Now, when it comes to using the planar tracker, we don't need to have a perfect outline. So what I mean is that you don't need to have this super precise mask of your weapon skin. This is even a little too much. We don't need that. All we need is something like this to get a good idea of what we need to get tracked. Now head on over to your inspector. Under tracker, we can change it from point to hybrid point/area. We can also go to options and bring down our trail length to get a better track. I like to bring it down to about 2 or 3, just in that area. Lastly, go back over to controls and hit set. So this way our computer knows, hey, at this frame right here, we gotta start tracking things. Because we're starting in the middle of our clip, we need to track forwards and backwards. And down here, this is how we can track. If you hover over these buttons, it'll tell you what they do. So we can track to start. So now that we have all this tracking data, what we can do is hit go. And that brings us to the frame that we started the track. And we can track forwards. Just look at these beautiful shots that I'm hitting. Oh, amazing. Somebody sign me. So now you can see on our timeline here, all these white dots, and those are all the points we have tracking data. We don't actually need the planar tracker anymore. We just need the tracking data. So go over to your inspector, and at the very bottom, you'll see Planar Transform. If you click that, oh, look at that, a new node called Planar Transform. Who would have guessed? At this point, you can just delete the planar tracker. You don't need that anymore. Now, watch what happens if we take the output of our planar transform and connect it to the input of, well, that's actually the output. Just, butt to butt, merge node. Boom, we don't have to do that. That's a step we can skip. But you're probably asking yourself, okay, that's cool, but how do we take our kill feed over here and bring it down here? Well, that's actually really simple. All you have to do is just copy your media in node, copy, paste, connect that to the gold arrow of your planar transform, and nothing's gonna happen at first, and then boom, look at that. So right now, what our computer is doing is taking the entire image, the media in one node, and tracking it to our gun. We don't want that. We also want it attached to our gun, not just floating around. So we have to add a few more nodes. So you know what? Let's start off super simple, right? Let's bring up that second viewer window. We're gonna click this button right here. And we're gonna bring in this media in node to our second viewer window. While you have it selected, just hit 1 on your keyboard. Boom, there you go. And let's take a rectangle node right here. We're gonna drop it in, connect it to the blue arrow because that's our masking. And oh, look at that. So let's just bring this over here and we're gonna adjust our height and our width. There's a few different ways that you can do it. You can use the controls over in your inspector, or you can just click the outlines and there you go. Pretty easy, but just bring it down until it matches. Now if you want to move your canvas, middle mouse button, click your canvas, and there you go. Now we can zoom in and get a super nice mask. We're gonna bring this up just a little bit. There you go. Now, this outline is kind of in our way. What we can do is turn it off by going to our inspector and then unchecking show view controls. There you go. That's actually what we're going to see. Now, if you notice, the kill feed that we made over here is over here. It's not on the gun. Let's fix that. So the first thing that we need to do is add in a corner positioner. Take your media in one and your rectangle, put a little space in between, you know, your planar transform. Anyways, while the media in one is selected, shift space to bring up that select tool page and type in corner positioner. Now, all you have to do is take your corners and just align them to your gun like so. And you know what I like to do is I'll zoom in here and I like to try and find some nice straight angles that I can use as a guideline. So that way this stays nice and square. So something like that. But the issue you're probably saying is, well, what the hell, man? It's I can't see that. Chill. It's okay. We just have to add another node. So put another little bit of space between your corner positioner and your planar transform. And then in your hotbar, you can find this transform node. Drag that, drop it in. Make sure it's connected to your pipeline. And now what you can do, bring that over to that second viewer window by hitting 1 on your keyboard. Guys, I lied to you. Your transform node isn't supposed to go after your corner positioner. It's actually supposed to go before it. I just wanted to let you guys know that I too am human. Okay, I'm not perfect. Sometimes my farts aren't stinky. Sometimes they don't smell at all. And that's okay. We're allowed to make mistakes. Anyways, move your pivot in your inspector. So now we have this little X. And now take that X, place it over your kill feed, and just zoom in. Now the issue is that we've maxed out our size and maybe you want it a little bit bigger. That's okay. All you have to do is take your size, double click it so it's all highlighted, and just type in a number, 10. Boom, there you go. That's a little too much. So let's bring this down. But now what you can do is use your transform node and adjust the positioning of your kill feed. So if you want to slide it to the left or right, you know, X-axis. You want to move it up and down, Y-axis. You can also use these arrows on your screen to move it around. And maybe you want to get crazy and you say, hey, I actually don't want to use X and Y. I just want to click and drag it. Click that square in the center. Woo! Now, I think that another problem that I have is that this aspect ratio isn't right. Like, see how it's like real squished down compared to this and this? Like, look at that. That's smooshed compared to that. So what you could do is maybe adjust aspect in your transform node. Oh, look at that. And yeah, so all you have to do is just kind of mess with the positioning until you get something you like. I think right now what I'll do is I'll just put it above the gun like so. And let's spice it up just a little bit more. We're going to add a bit of glow here. Right below your media in one node, what you can do, shift space, and type in soft glow. Now, this is, you know, it's backwards. We don't want it on top of it. We want it under it. So take the output of your media in node and plug it into the blue arrow, and this looks even worse. But what you can do is go over to your inspector of your glow node, go to settings, and then apply mask inverted. There you go. So if we were to zoom out here on our node trees, this is what it should look like. We have our rectangle acting as a mask. Then we have our media node, that's our actual kill feed. We have a glow effect, giving it this nice little bit of light. Then we have the transform to increase the size and kind of change its positioning. Then we have the corner positioner, giving it the right perspective on the gun. Then we have our planar transform, keeping it stuck to the gun. And of course, we have our merge to connect it to this main pipeline. Now, if you were to play the video, the problem that we'd have is we have Killfeed when we shouldn't have Killfeed. So what we need to do is some keyframing. Let's find where this comes in. So I think right there in our merge node, we're gonna go over to the inspector and add a keyframe for our blend. Then let's move some frames back. We don't have Killfeed, so let's take our blend, bring it all the way down to 0. Look at that, highlighted red. DaVinci Resolve automatically added another keyframe. We can also use this arrow next to it to jump to the other keyframe. And now look at this, no Killfeed. Going. Boom, Killfeed. Now, if we scroll ahead a little bit, we got another kill. And we don't have that kill over here. So, you know, that's an issue and we gotta fix it. But luckily, it's really simple to do. All you have to do is grab a rectangle node, drop it in, and connect that to your rectangle, the first one. And then move this rectangle to the kill and just start to mask it, right? So, you know, we're doing everything over again, but for the second kill. Yay, we have 2 kills now on our gun. But another issue, before we get that second kill, we just have this blank space. So we gotta do some keyframing again. But instead of doing the keyframing inside of the merge node, what we're gonna do is the keyframing inside of the rectangle node. So let's find where that kill comes up. And this is just not intuitive at all. But if you go over to your inspector, go to levels, let's adjust that. Oh, what is that? That's a blend keyframe. So all you have to do is add a keyframe to levels, go back a few frames, lot of frames. There it is. It's not there anymore. So we're going to bring this down to 0. Bring this down to 0. And would you look at that? It comes in. But now the main issue is that we are just gonna have our kill feed chilling in the air. So we gotta keyframe it out. And you could probably take a educated guess of how we're going to keyframe this out. That's going to be in the merge node. Because if you look at our node tree setup, the way this is set up is our merge is our overall video, right? Add a keyframe in our blend, move over, and we'll call it quits right there. Bring it all the way down to 0. Now this is pretty good for a basic effect, but we want to make it look even better. So what I want you to do is copy that merge node, copy, paste, and put it behind that first merge node. So your tree should look like this right now. Then what you can do is highlight everything except for the merge and connect the output of your planar transform to the green arrow of your new merge. And that looks like it's done nothing. But guess what? If we go into this merge node, right, and we adjust our X or Y axis. Let's just move that X axis. Oh, look at that. It's a duplicated version. So the idea here is to make it look like our kill feed is being projected off of the gun. So what we gotta do now is go into our transform node and just adjust our Y axis, you know, bring this down. There you go. That's looking a little bit better. Now let's adjust our X-axis, bring this in a little bit closer, maybe even bring down our Y. And you know, just fine tune this until you get something you like. But the main concern right now is getting this back kill feed. Get that to look not as solid. So what you can do is adjust some of your blend settings in your merge node. Now, there's a few different ways that you could do this, right? You could adjust your burn-in, your alpha gain, your subtractive, your additive, whatever. You could do that. Or what you could do is adjust your blend settings, but you have to remember we added a few keyframes here, right? So what you would need to do is go to those keyframes and just bring them down slightly and then match that. and your other keyframe, right? So something like this, but that's not what we are going to do. By the way, I just used Control Z to reset all of that. What we are going to do is change our apply mode. So we're going to take it from normal to soft light. There you go. It's that simple. And if you go into the edit tab and rewatch the video, look at how good this looks. Oh yeah! And that's how you add a kill feed to your gun. If you found any value in this video, make sure you hit that like button and also subscribe if you're not, so you can learn more DaVinci Resolve tutorials. And yeah, have a nice day.